Oh, hi guys, it's Monday morning and I've got a busy day ahead of me, a couple of appointments and just got to get a few things sorted, and of course there's always travel issues. Now, I know the first thing you're going to say is, what the hell is that sticking out of your left ear? And if you really want to know, it's a piece of toilet paper, and the reason it's in my ear is because I had to squeeze that earwax removal liquid into my ear before I got my GP appointment this morning. And the reason I actually just did it this morning, a few hours before the appointment, is because I actually, after showering today, I lost my hearing. Yesterday I regained it in the left ear. It popped and I got back to normal hearing from late morning on Sunday right through till having showering this morning, and just a little bit of water got in there, and that was enough to basically cause it to be totally blocked again. I think I've got to remove it now actually, so it's yeah, it's soaked up a bit because I put 5 drops in plus some peroxide, which is acidic, and it helps to actually to destroy the actual wax in the ear. So I've got a huge build-up, and only about 50% of that wax has been removed by the GP at this stage. So I'm assuming, because I got my hearing back, I still can't hear through it right now, even after putting that in. I was hoping that might clear it. I did definitely pop, but hopefully when he uses a little suction device going in there to remove it, I'll get my hearing back again. At least it was nice to get my hearing back for 24 hours. It sort of made me feel a lot better. But it's amazing how volatile it is. Just a little thing, like a little bit of water, was enough to basically cause full blockage again. It's just a really muffled sound, and I click my fingers, which I find hard to do, got so much wax or something on or oil in my skin. I can hear it there, but if I go like that, actually I can hear it a little bit, but it's much duller. So yeah, I've got to get this sorted. But thank God it didn't happen at the beginning of a long overseas trip. That's when you don't want to have health issues. Although there are places in a place like Saigon, it's a big city, there are good medicos, so it's not really that bad. It would be better in Thailand, but it's okay in a place like Vietnam. And of course I will be taking out medical insurance as well. I mean, I've had a free ride for a number of years, and as you get older, you're pretty crazy not to have medical insurance when you travel. I just wish the Australian government would realise that that's a real bonus for them, because I'm looking after my own health insurance, not you going with Medicare. So in a way, they should be encouraging people to go overseas if they take out their own private medical cover. That would make sense. But of course, sensible policies in Canberra, they don't mix. That doesn't make sense to these people. They're just, oh, don't get me started. I'm going to do a video on the Morrison government, because I'm really frustrated with the way they're handling things right now on a number of fronts. So, and actually there was an article in the Cairns Post today just talking about a couple who are so fed up with the crime, and they're living in Earlville, which is a few kilometres up the road, and they said the crime's just got out of control. They just have to move. I didn't get the whole story, because Cairns Post doesn't post the whole story, the tight-ass pricks, because it's a Murdoch publication. They'll only give you snippets unless you actually pay for a subscription. And they're getting more and more ruthless with that. It becomes very frustrating. It just makes me want to read something like Tropic Now, where you've got open access. And their offices are literally across the road from where I live. So it's good to have a little bit of competition, and hopefully Tropic Now will go from strength to strength and provide the full stories without having to pay. That'd be nice. And just get covered by advertising, presumably. That'd be their business model. But anyway, I'm digressing. I've got a big day today, and yesterday I was just trying to work out whenever you want to go to, say, an island, you've got to then work out the transfers and what the best way to get to that island is. And even though it's not as expensive as in Australia, it can mount up when you've got to get a ferry or a speedboat, whatever, to another location. So you've got to make a decision. I don't necessarily want to stay in Bali on the main island. I'd like to go somewhere more adventurous. But to go to Lombok, for instance, which is far less habitated and got some really nice beaches, you're looking at something like, I think the quote was, it might have been £40 or something each way. It was very expensive to get the boat, this one company to get a boat, so it sort of makes it, unless you're going for a long period of time, I don't know whether it's worth it. And sometimes it's even better just to fly to a place like that, because it just costs so much to go across the sea. So you've got to make these judgments. The accommodation's not a problem, that's reasonably priced, but it's the matter of, it's always the transport costs that seem to be a big hassle. So I always think it's nice to stay for a while in a place, and then you just don't have to worry so much about those transport costs. They become a smaller percentage of your overall travel costs. That's my little tip there. Oh, one thing I checked out today was I wanted to actually, it's insane for me to pay for, well, getting a visa on arrival, because I'm going for 3 months to Vietnam. And so I'm getting a 3-monthly visa, and you can only do that with visa on arrival. You can't do it with e-visas, they're just for 1 month max. So when you get a visa on arrival, you not only pay for the letter, which was about, I think cost me $11 US for the letter that you have to present to the counter, you also have to pay a stamping fee for them to put the visa in your passport. And you can either pay for that in US dollars, which is $25 right now, US, or you can pay dong. Now, because I've been to Vietnam many times, I've got a stack of dong with me from the last trip. I'm happy to pay dong. The only downside there is they may not have the change for you, so you've got to work out what the exchange rate is. And I've calculated it should be about 600,000 dong. But if I don't mind giving you a few, if I go a little over, it's about 580 exactly, but if I go to 600, it just covers me for any change. It doesn't worry me. But I've got change as well, so if they actually decide to give me a really crappy exchange rate, which they shouldn't do because it's their own currency, but you just don't know, I am prepared. And for me it's cheaper because it's cost me more money to exchange an Aussie dollar to an American dollar in Australia. The cost to do that here is much greater because you get such lousy exchange rates than me using the dong. So it's got to be the better way for me to go. So I clarified that today. So there was some other item I had to clarify. I can't remember what it is. It's just so many things you have to do. And I made a list so that I won't forget things. But the other thing I actually purchased recently, you saw me carrying it back to my flat, and that was the duffel bag. And I'll just show that to you now. Alright, this is the duffel bag I bought at Kmart last Saturday. $15. As I said, I put in a little bit of subtitle saying it's highly flammable. The reason I said that is that it actually does have a cautionary note saying that you don't want to put it near a fireplace or whatever, because it's susceptible to presumably melting. It's nylon. It's very light. But it's long enough. See how long it is? It's I think it's over 70 centimetres in length, and that means I can put this tripod, which is a fantastic camera tripod. The Zoom A tripod I bought online. It was highly recommended. I've got to say it is brilliant. And but the problem with it is that I can't break it down totally. It's a pain to do that. So it's still going to be about 3/4 of the length of this bag. So I needed a long bag. The backpack just wasn't big enough. So you can carry this way, which is not great. But I have worked out a way to carry it like that, just like a normal bag. Or alternatively, I've worked out that it's actually not that hard to use it as a backpack. You can just sling this particular strap across like this, and because you've got this little bit here in the front, you can actually use this to secure it like a backpack. So you can actually just put it across like that, and that will actually almost lock it. It's not a perfect design, but it works. So basically, rather than having to carry it like that, which is a pain, you can use it like a backpack, so much better. And that means I can take this tripod all around Cairns, and I want to get some shots around the marina, which will be quite nice. And when I do these sorts of reports, I'll just put this in a small. Well, I'll probably do it on this one because I've just got to. I'll probably collect that footage tomorrow. Although one of the people that watches the channel is actually flying up here, and hopefully I'll be catching up with him and his wife. Either tomorrow or the day after. I think they're here for a few days, so that'd be really nice. It's the first time I've actually done that. I almost did that in Saigon. There was someone who watched my channel. It's quite staggering because I don't have that many subscribers, so I'm quite amazed. But anyway, this little bush fix, like my toilet paper of the year, this actually seems to work. It seems to be holding up okay. Now I haven't actually walked any distance with it, but this way I can carry the backpack. It's much better when it's on your back rather than having to carry it with your arms. It's a bit unwieldy. Backpacks are much more practical. So because this is the strap, the guard for the shoulder, it actually works just as well as a sort of like locking these two straps together, so you can use it as a jerry-built backpack. So it's good. So $15. The beauty of this is I can shove it into my main bag that I bought, the one with the 4 rollers. It's quite a good design actually, and I can just, when I get to my destinations, I can take this out and then go hiking around and get some really good footage with this camera, because this is a better camera than the GoPro one. But the problem is, you can't really. It needs a tripod basically because it's not a light camera. So it takes fantastic footage, but it doesn't really come into its own without the tripod. So this is something I probably should have bought a few years back, but as I say, I'm really happy with this Zoomy tripod. It's fantastic. It does everything I need. It's not too heavy, but it's heavy enough to provide stability, and it's got that nice balance basically. So I'm very, very happy with it, and it was money well spent. One of the best things I probably got on eBay. So really happy with it. I tried to get a smaller one so I could actually, a more compact one, but now I've got this backpack. I think I'll just stick with this one and I'll take it everywhere. I can even use it on a table if I'm sort of having a drink somewhere and I want to do some shots. I can do it that way too. Now that I've got this backpack or this duffle bag come backpack, I've got total flexibility, so it's great. Another beautiful day here. I think the insulation's working pretty well. It's hard to say, but I would say that it's definitely taking the edge off. Actually, this weekend was supposed to be 32 degrees, so it was quite a warm weekend. It didn't really feel that bad. I did have the overhead fan on in the bedroom last night, but I didn't really have to. It was just I decided it might be a little more comfortable. It wasn't a pressing need, so I think it's actually held up pretty well, because I didn't go out yesterday and I didn't notice it being particularly hot inside, but it was supposed to be 32 degrees, and so that was a warmish day. So it's looking good. Anyway, that's my update now, and I'll get into the politics sometime this week, because I've got a few things to say about Australian government at this stage, but I won't do it in this video. I'll keep it non-political. So that's basically where I am at the moment, but there's still plenty of planning. I've still got a few bookings to make regarding the places I'm staying. I haven't done any bookings for Bali, and I've got to do another one for Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. But I won't do that until I've actually stayed at a couple of places that I've booked, and if I like these places a lot, I might rebook them rather than look for somewhere new. But I just don't know at this stage. But I've basically got the guts of the bookings out of the way in Vietnam, the first part of the trip, and I've got the 2 weeks in Phuket all covered as well. So I've done the bulk of the planning, and the pressure's really off as far as that's concerned, which is good. So that's it for today, and as I say, it's going to be a busy one, but I just wanted to to give you guys a bit of a heads up of what's happening. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.